Hey everyone, Dockwell here, and welcome to another video. Today's going to be an updated Clinkz guide. I'm making this guide right after patch 7.30C. He was extremely overpowered in the B patch, and then they nerfed him a bunch. But despite all those nerfs, I think this is still a pretty good hero, just not as insanely overpowered as he was before. But he does pretty much the same thing, and probably will do the same thing into the future. It's just that he was at like a 55-60% win rate or something before, and now he's not at that. He's going to probably be more balanced, but still, he may actually be picked up a lot in TI and things like that. And into the future, this may just be how Clinkz is played in general. So before, he was played as a carry or mid that kind of ganks and pushes towers and runs around killing people because he didn't really farm very fast. He had no farming ability. Really, his ultimate, honestly, was his only farming ability in that you could eat a big creep when you hit level 6. So that allowed him to kind of get more farm and stuff. And then obviously he has his damage on his searing arrows that allows him to farm as well, and an attack speed ability he had, but he couldn't clear waves. He just, like, if you wanted to clear a wave or a jungle camp, you would just have to sit there attacking each creep, you know, until it died and those kinds of things. But now he has a farming ability in Burning Barrage. So this Burning Barrage is basically, I'll show it to you eventually when we get into the demo mode just to demo this, but basically what it does is it just shoots arrows out in a line, a bunch of them for a duration. It's a channeled ability, and they go through every single creep it hits, so it just kind of pierces everything and just goes through them and does damage, and then it also procs things like Maelstrom. So what you do with this hero now is you play him as a carry, and you basically max this, and you clear stacks, you clear waves, you clear jungle camps, all these kinds of things with this, and this is his farming ability. The reason why he was so overpowered is that he would do so much damage from insane range. He has his shard as well, which creates skeleton illusions with his skeleton walk. Every time you get out of that, he would just have all these skeletons everywhere. He would do insane damage with this and his searing arrows at crazy range. He would farm so quickly, quicker than even like Luna, Medusa, all these other things. He would farm even quicker than they can farm sometimes with this ability. It was just that good once he got Maelstrom and some other stuff like that. And then the other key thing that I think people didn't look at or underrated at lower MMRs, people didn't really notice, is that this ability was insane. It gave him so much health and tankiness that basically he was running around doing more damage than anybody else could in the game, farming quicker than anyone else, having all of these random skeletons all around, and then he also had like 4k plus HP because of this crazy ability with Death Pack. So all of those numbers just got nerfed a little bit, but he still played similarly to when he was OP just last patch. So basically, how to think about this hero now is like a farming carry that kind of sits in a fight, almost like a Medusa kind of, where you just kind of sit there, you just hit people with searing arrows, you have a good amount of HP, you have some skeletons all around, and then you like can clear if you know there's a big AoE ultimate or something like that, like Black Hole or maybe like Vacuum from Darkseer. You can use your Burning Barrage on that AoE on a bunch of heroes. It'll hit all of them. It'll proc Maelstrom. It'll do a ton of damage. And that's how you play this hero now. More as a traditional carry, more as a heavy dealing damage dealer for late game and all of that kind of stuff. And that's how you play this hero. So we're going to actually jump in here quick to the demo mode, and I'll just show you the basic ability for Burning Barrage. It's pretty simple actually, and it won't really take very long to show you. I'll just put one point in it here. It's not really a big deal, and we'll just fire it on this creep wave. And actually, we'll get Maelstrom just to show you how it does proc. So you just shoot it in a direction, and it's a channeled ability, and then all of them pierce and hit every single creep there, and then Maelstrom can proc on those hits. And that's pretty simple. It's just that straightforward. It's just good like that. It does a as you see, a percentage of your right-click damage as well. So it kind of scales with right-clicks. Not fully scales, though, because it only does a smaller percentage. So it's not like 100%, but still, it can do a lot of damage. It's pretty good for farming, all of those kinds of things. And that's basically how Clinkz is played. Now, I'll just basically briefly tell you that this is just basically one way to play him, kind of as the carry. Now, you can play him with this shard and with his Ags, and the Ags does allow him to like create more skeletons. So it's almost like if you don't want to be right-clicking, if you can't stand there in the team fight using your searing arrows to kill people and stuff like that, if you're not as tanky now because of the decreased bonus health percentage and all of that kind of stuff, you can still go this Burning Army ability and the shard for Skeleton Walk, which if we level up here, basically when you pop out of invis, it spawns new skeletons. So you can still go this other build. It's just a little bit of a different build. You can still go the Ags. It just all depends. But basically, the build on this hero is now like, as you can see here, it's pretty simple. You go Treads, you go Maelstrom, you probably go Dragonlance, then you go Scotty for really tankiness, BKB to survive, and then Crit just to do a ton of damage later in the game. And then, as you can see, I even have 2k HP now. If I consume a big creep, or if I, let's say I level up to like, 20 or something, and then I consume this, I still have 3.5k HP. Before it was like 4k plus, even more than that. So now you still have a lot of tankiness, you still do a lot of damage, all of those kinds of things. So, but this is just the build. This is how you build the hero. This is how you skill the hero. This is just this quick update. And now we'll probably jump into a game just to show you a little bit of how to play this hero in a game with this new way of playing it.
Tower is under siege.
So now we're jumping into a replay here of Matumba Man playing Clinkz, and this is actually in the new patch when he's not nearly as strong. But you'll see, this is exactly what I wanted to show you. This is a little bit into the laning stage after he's hit 6 and everything. He's obviously doing well in the lane, but nothing has really changed about how you lane with the hero. You just kind of use your searing arrows to do a lot of damage, secure last hits, other things like that. You sit from range. You can also not aggro creeps by using this, so you can get a lot of harass on. And then you can use this to escape or to be aggressive if you need to. And then you want to max this out, as soon as possible, because like we're seeing here, this is how you want to play the hero. You obviously want to have stacks, but even if you don't have stacks because it's a lower MMR and no one's stacking for you, you can clear through the jungle really, really quickly. So like, even though there's so many creeps here, he could actually bring these two waves together and then fire on them at the same time. But you see, he's actually like just getting more farm out of the jungle now because he's able to use this Burning Barrage ability to just clear through these stacks, clear through jungle so quickly, and that's basically what's new about the hero now. And then he pretty much, you get power treads, but sometimes you don't even go power treads, you just get straight Maelstrom, maybe boots and then Maelstrom. Because once you get Maelstrom on this hero, he'll be able to clear and farm quicker than like any other hero. So like 7 minutes in the game, 8 minutes of the game, whatever. You see he's going for that Maelstrom. He gets the Javelin first. Once you get that Maelstrom, you can just farm so quickly. So sometimes people are even skipping the full power treads. He just actually, you see, is 2-0-2. So he did get the power treads in the lane to be more effective in the lane. Stuff like that, survive against a Bloodseeker, all of those things. But regardless, that's more laning stuff. I want to give you the general concepts of how to understand the hero. So the hero, mainly, you want to get your Maelstrom as quick as possible so you can farm through the jungle as quick as possible. And then transition to, your Dragonlance and other things like that, maybe Scotty tank up, get a ton of damage and those kinds of things. But as you see here, even if he doesn't have stacks, you can also bring both of those camps together. You can do this at a lot of different places in the jungle, so you can farm multiple stacks or multiple camps at the same time. So this is just how to play Clinkz mid-game, basically. You start off the lane, you use your Searing Arrows, you secure last hits, then you max out your Burning Barrage, and you just farm up, and you get super big and super tanky. You get a lot of damage, and you actually start attacking pretty quickly. You don't have that attack speed steroid like you used to, but you eventually, because you're building him like a real carry, get a lot of attack speed just normally as well. So that is pretty much Clinkz's mid-game. Now we can kind of show you a little bit of him later and how he actually does a ton of damage later in the game. So now he jumps to 27 minutes here, and we see he has a good amount of items. He has his BKB, he has his Maelstrom up, he's just been farming. You pretty much just play this hero like a farming carry, and then you kind of join fights whenever you feel like it's necessary, just like the normal carry role. But you can see how much damage he's able to dish out here, just kind of standing in the back of the fight. He just does so much damage with his Burning Barrage and the Maelstrom procs that like the entire team is just destroyed, melted in 2 seconds. And you see here, with his skeletons that are spawned, they also do a ton of damage as well. So despite some of the nerfs that he had, this patch is on the new patch, the 7.30C. He still does so much insane damage that, Invoker's there at like 1/4 HP, and he just has a couple right clicks in his skeletons, and then it's over. And as you just saw, we saw him clear through an entire creep wave in about half a second. This new ability is crazy. His new scaling ability is ridiculous, especially because he gets Daedalus and other things like that. So that's pretty much how you play Clinkz. You just kind of stand in the fights, you have your skeletons up, You do a ton of right-click damage. You just kind of dare people to get on top of you to, like, come into your little skeleton army to come, you know, attack you. And then you can just pop BKB and Invis and run away if you ever need to. And that's pretty much how you play this hero. You play him just like a normal carry, almost like a farming carry, almost like a Medusa. It's just that if you need to, you can actually not be kited. You're a ranged hero, obviously, but you can, like, run around with your Invis. You can gank a little bit if you need to. You can just do so many things with this hero now. Even despite the nerfs, he's still really, really strong. So that's kind of how you need to think about the hero, how it changes compared to the other guide. I would say you can still watch the other guide for some tips and tricks, but now instead of that ganking hero, that farming of heroes, he farms creeps a lot quicker. He plays more like a traditional carry, and that's the main thing that you need to think about with Clinkz. So that's pretty much my updated Clinkz guide. I wanted to make it short. I wanted to make it brief. There's not too much complicated about the hero now. He's just like really, really strong overall with stats and damage and all of that kind of stuff. So that's my Clinkz guide, my updated Clinkz guide for 7.30. I hope everybody enjoyed it. As always, guys, join the Discord. If you want a replay review to be looked at, go there, link it in the replay review channel, and I'll take a look at it. If you want to be coached by me, I'm offering coaching now with the Patreon. The Discord and Patreon links are in the description. As always, guys, thanks for watching. Hit the sub button, like, all those things, comment if you haven't already. And as always, thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next video.